true capitalist radio. I'm the badass of business and the prognosticator of prognosticators. Give CIA levels of assessments, predicting the future, the future, the future. It's time for true capitalist radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for true capitalist radio. Turn that shit up. Sparking synapses in the internet underground. Everyone knows who I am. The world is my chessboard and war is the tool of the game. Don't hate me, I'm just a messenger. Say what you want about me, but I speak the truth. The truth, the truth. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's time for true capitalist radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for true capitalist radio. Turn that shit up. Now get ready. True capitalist radio starts now. Right now. Fucking punks. Fucking punks. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fucking punks.
What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 733, for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show across the internets. And what is this? I'm not reading that. Sparking prolapses and pause-infected anuses. Look, we're not starting off that way, and I'm sorry that we're having trolls donate on buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics and think that they're so damn cute. All right? Once again, this is a serious show for the serious listeners out there, and cheers to the folks that are the serious listeners. Once again, this is episode number 733. It is January 21st, 2025, and it has been a full day since Trump has been president. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and talk about how the markets are reacting to this. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it here. Let's go ahead and put the PC shot on. We've got the markets actually coming up a little positive, but I think this is just momentum from the transition of power and the executive orders that Trump has signed, which we're going to talk about here in a few. But you got a lot of optimism here. 24 hours after the president has been sworn in, got a lot of optimism. You saw a lot of the tech oligarchs there at the inauguration. So a lot of optimism going on. A lot of people buying in. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial is up 1.24% on the day, closing out the Dow at 44,025.81 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We also got the S&P 500 up also almost a percent. It is up 0.88%, closing out the S&P at 6,049.24 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ.
I'd buy that for $1.
And we got Bob Tom. It's his birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Bob Tom. I'm not going to sing you happy birthday on this show, maybe on the Go Show, all right? But thank you. Cheers to Bob Tom for all the years of listening, and happy birthday to you, all right? And Five Finger Prostate Punch hooked it up with a Rumble rant over there at Rumble and said, can we talk about the trick rug pull? We're going to talk about all that here in a minute. And thank you for listening as well. But let's just go ahead and get over these markets here. Once again, NASDAQ is up 0.64%, closing out the NASDAQ at 19,756.78 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now, you're seeing optimism on the equities end, but when you start to see raise in the gold price, that's where the realists over there in the commodities trading markets are putting their money. And obviously, people are going after safety. There's a lot of uncertainty. I think the reason that you're seeing positivity in the equities markets, in my opinion, is because of all the threats of tariffs that were levied by Trump in the campaign trail has not necessarily come into reality, at least in the first 24 hours of his administration. So I think that's got a lot of the markets heel kicking a little bit. So that's another thing. But at the same time, there's still uncertainty. This is a transition of power. And as a result, that's why you've got folks in the commodities markets kind of going into the gold and into the metals market and those safety areas. Anyway, gold is up 0.26%.
I'd buy that for $1.
Emerdo, great. Can you talk about the Trump coin rug pull? You did well, first of all, I'm going to get to that here in a minute. And I don't like your name. All right, Emerdo Grapus. I don't like your fucking name. All right. But anyway, I'll talk about that here in a minute. We're discussing things right now in the marketplace. So thank you very much. And we've got Kits Does a Flip, who hooked it up with a Rumble rant. Oh, yeah. Did you hear that Destiny is being sued for being a predator? R.I.P. Bozo is all I got to say. Well, we're not going to cover that here, but I did hear about that. Thank you very much, Kits Does a Flip. And then Five Finger Prostate Punch with a Rumble rant. I feel like if we need to spend at least 1.5 hours on this subject, just differently worded. All right, thank you for your insight. And then trolling the interwebs, I could tell Destiny was a predator for the first time I saw him. All right, we're not talking about Destiny here. Who gives a crap about that liberal fucking weirdo? All right, we're talking about the markets here. Once again, gold is up 0.26%. Gold price $2,755.90 per troy ounce of gold. And we're seeing a little bit of a pullback on oil. And that has a lot to do with the friendly messages that are being come across the pond by China. So we'll see what's up with that. But once again, oil is down 2.30% on the day. Current price for oil is $76.09 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. Now, since we are coming into a new administration, I'd like to remind everybody, what we're kind of leaving behind, all right? And if you take a look at the final look of how the market, performed under Joe Biden, in this article, what you'll read is that across the board, across most stocks throughout his 4 years, 55% increase across the board in the stock market. All right, 55%. Anybody who's in the stock market, you've seen all-time highs on all these damn stocks. That's why I've been very apprehensive about all this very irrational investments, the meme stocks, the meme coins. I mean, this is an absolute manifestation of the success that we have had post-COVID and how the ease of accessibility for people to have money or to get employed is abundantly available, or at least was abundantly available. And you see, this is why you got a lot of folks in the market rather apprehensive about this transition of power because, look, I mean, we have had, in the market, 2 years of double-digit growth, all right, across the board. 2 years of double-digit growth. We've only seen that a few times. We saw it once in 2010, 2011, and we saw it again in 2018. And you see, we don't usually see 3 consecutive double-digit growth years. So this is why, regardless of how much money was printed out post-COVID, regardless of all the government spending, I think people should be a little apprehensive about being so bullish in 2025. All right, it's all I'm saying. But either way, It was a decent 4 years for anybody who was in the stock market and certainly in the crypto market. And look, we're getting to the point where, it seems as if anybody can make a crypto. All right? And let's go ahead and talk about that. Now, before I talk about that, I would like to introduce everybody to what I'm going to start doing now on my website, ghost.report. I would encourage everybody to go and bookmark this website because I am going to produce posts like this, Ghost Report Daily, on a daily basis, in which I'm going to comprise a bunch of links that everyone can kind of gather from a good, broad news perspective. You know, it's an aggregator of news, and I'm going to go ahead and just let everybody know this is what I read. It's just a handful of what to read. I know that, it's hard to find actual information with substance. This is what we're having here, okay? So since we're talking about cryptocurrency and we're still kind of in the markets, okay, Donald Trump, obviously for the Ghost Report Daily, January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump POTUS again. But then I put crypto scammer and thief.
That for $1.
And hold on, wait a minute. Jeffrey Ghosteen, will you service my schmeckle? That's great. This guy always, that's great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, buddy. And five-finger prostate punch, oil spike in the next 12 months. No one knows. We're in transition, no pun intended, of a administration, and it's up to the policy in which this administration is going to conduct itself. Now, with that being said, okay, crypto scammer and thief. Now, why did I say that? Well, because, folks, right before Donald Trump was going to be sworn in as president, he released a coin, a cryptocurrency called Trump coin. All right, there it is right there. There's the symbol, Trump coin. And because this very cultish personality that MAGA has with Trump, this adornment that they have towards Trump, they're literally just taking their money and whatever Trump produces. And you and I know, if you've been listening to this broadcast, he has sold almost everything you can imagine. Guitars recently, watches, Bibles, NFTs, you name it. This guy has sold everything. And right before he became president or sworn in as president, he released Trump coin. And of course, by the way, let's not forget the True Social stock, the DJT symbol. That also was another. Anyway, look. Now his latest scheme, I'm talking Trump and the Trump family, is Trump coin. Now, once they released it, because everybody adores Trump on MAGA side, they went out.
For $1.
Kirk Johnson, TCR equals thief, con artist, radio. Yeah, you know what? You know why you're saying that? Because everything I said during the campaign in 2024 is coming to pass. You folks that attempted to vote for Donald Trump for a certain reason, you're starting to recognize that he's not full-fledged in what you thought he was going to do. And as I stated, even back in this cycle of the campaign, 2024, I said Trump reminded me a lot of Obama in 2008. Because in 2008, Obama didn't promise a goddamn thing. So that's why I am not surprised with what the hell Trump is doing. I am absolutely not surprised. But anyway, getting back to Trump coin. Okay, he literally made this coin out of anywhere. Anyone can make a coin now. There's, ridiculous coins that have been made.
That for $1.
All right, this is ridiculous. What's your opinion on Trump pardoning the January 6th protesters? I'm going to get to that in a minute, Helmet Boy, and thank you very much, and cheers to you for the buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics donation. But look, aside from Trump creating this coin out of nothing, remember, anybody can make a coin. They got fart coin. As a matter of fact, I don't know if y'all saw, I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but it still coincides with the subject matter that I'm talking about. Did you see the infamous Sieg Heil that Elon Musk, or at least what it looks like? It looks like a Roman salute, whatever you want to call it. Did y'all see that in the post-inaugural speech by this guy? Well, let me show you how coins in crypto work. right after he gave that, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, he was wax on, wax off, he watched too much Karate Kid, I don't know, whatever the excuse is, there is now an Elon Hitler coin. I mean, I'm not fucking joking around. And look, I think this is very dangerous that the administration now is partaking in this very unregulated crypto market, and it's using it and the adornment that it has with its MAGA folk in order to them enrich themselves. All right, with absolutely nothing. What is this, pillow versus what, a chicken little ghosty crying about the sky falling again? What are you fucking talking about, man? I'm not saying anything that the sky's falling again. While losing, by the way. Yeah, shut up, asshole. All right, you're the one that's losing. All right? What kind of a fucking name is pillow versus infant, man? You need your
I'd buy that
shit
for
check, you
$1.
fucking weirdo, all right? And then we got Alfoxo Loco. Lo and behold, a certain someone has suddenly gone back on his previous claims that he doesn't mind if people use his real name. Got an email from YouTube this morning saying someone has filed a complaint against my last upload. I always went to the effort of censoring his email address from the show, but I guess I'll be including it in the uncensored edit since Odyssey doesn't give a fuck. I already have a copyright strike from earlier in the week because YouTube wasn't happy with some of the things that you said. So if Jag gives me another copyright strike, I'll be putting my uploads private for the next 90 days. And if my edits suddenly go private, you know who to blame. It's Jag. It's Jag to blame for this shit. He should be given the Peter. All right. Look, listen. I'm sorry that what's going on here in the Buy Me a Coffee, it's a bunch of drama that is seeping in from the Ghost Show into this show. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry for your folks that wanted to keep on with the show here. My apologies, man, all right? And then President Jay with a Rumble rant. Everything, oh, really? You mean when you said Trump was going to lose and make the rest of the GOP lose? Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I didn't expect what happened in the election. But you see, now that that's happened in the election, you've got a lot of vultures out here. This guy here, not the meme coin, but Elon Musk, the PayPal Mafia, all the folks that I said right after that assassination attempt on Trump are all coming around behind him. And, I mean, you saw it at the inauguration, man. The inauguration, there was not all the tech oligarchs. All right, they're the ones that are in control of Trump. But look, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. And Kits Does a Flip is absolutely correct. He said ADL condones Elon Musk's salute, by the way. Well, that's because he's the richest man in the world. I'm sure he's made a few donations. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, that's the only logical explanation I could deduce. But, yeah, I was very surprised that the ADL had no problem with that salute. That's unbelievable, Kits. And trolling the interweb, type F to release the January 6 heroes. Well, he actually did that today, trolling, but you're getting ahead of me. Everybody's already getting ahead of me here. And Five Finger Prostate Punch, I'm investing half my money in Elon Hitler coin. I would not suggest to do that. But anyway, look, going back to what we were discussing here about how Donald Trump released a Trump coin prior to him being inaugurated as president. I mean, there is so many things wrong here. First and foremost, this damn coin went up to, what was it, 70 billion or some fucking ridiculous garbage like that in market capitalization. And then the day after the coin was released, okay, somebody, which, you can all look at the wallets. I mean, it's tied to maybe less than a handful of wallets initially when Trump coin was released. All of a sudden, within a minute, within 60 seconds, 60 billion of that was gone. All right, complete and total rug pull. And why? Because they, or whoever the hell is doing this, we're assuming Trump, they hooked it up with Melania coin. Because they saw, look at how much money Donald Trump coin made. Let's go ahead and throw a Melania coin. And guess what? With all these meme coins, with all these pump and dumps, did you see this right here on Ghost Report Daily on January 20th? MAGA insiders own 2.3 trillion in meme coins. All right, take a look at this. Donald Trump entourage holds 2.3 trillion in meme coins. So there's a major conflict of interest, and I think that this is unbelievable that Trump has this much captivation over the people, that they're just willing to give their money to this guy. And time again, with the DJT stock, with everything, he just rug pulls these people, and it just seems like they don't care. I mean, this is at a new level of demoralization that I've never seen in my life, especially when it comes to America. You know, another thing that's very flabbergasting to me is that people are very meticulous when it comes to purchasing their appliances or purchasing their car. Yet they hear some asshole on Reddit talking about a meme stock or a meme coin, and they go and throw tens of thousands of dollars on it. And you see, at this point in time, what is happening here, and I made mention of this on my Twitter Spaces, what's happening here is a consolidation of fiat currency. And what's happening is, because people have this, spell that they love Trump so much that they'll just go and just throw money at him, they'll throw money at meme coins, that these folks that are creating it, these folks that are in back of crypto, back of big tech, they're literally just having money being shoveled into their bank accounts, okay? And this is actual liquid, okay? All this crypto crap, it doesn't matter how much the crypto coin is worth on paper. It's whether or not you can liquidate that crypto coin in order for you to get United States dollars. And that's exactly what's happening right now. You're having a small group of people, especially in this cryptocurrency realm, that are taking massive amounts of liquid out of the market. I mean, who the hell benefited from that Trump coin dump of like $60 billion within 60 seconds? I mean, who benefited from that? I mean, where's that USD? And nothing was produced. There was no store, no manufactured product, no service created. I mean, this is why I just can't believe that people are just completely okay with this. And you know, what's happening right now, in my opinion, is the same thing that happened during the turn of the 20th century. Now, ironically, in this past campaign and here recently, Trump has invoked the presidential name of William McKinley. And you see, he says that McKinley had a great time in American history, which is an absolute lie, because McKinley got assassinated. And the reason he got assassinated was because it was the post-industrial revolution. By the time that Carnegie had already made all the steel and they laid down all the tracks, railroad tracks. I mean, there was a lot of folks out of work that had trades that weren't employed. And why? There was no money circulating. Why was there no money circulating? Because it was all in what they would call the robber barons, the industrialists' pocket. You know, the fucking Carnegies, the J.P. Morgans, the Rockefellers, all these folks all had the majority of American circulating fiat in their possession. So when these gentlemen cornered the market on the fiat, what they did is they had a little meeting on Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia, and they created the central bank called the Federal Reserve, in which they become the purveyors of the distributed fiat currency because they're in control of it all. All right? They're already in control of it all. So what happens is...
I'd buy that for $1.
Peter Sutfill, I got hammered, and all right, I'll get to you in a minute. But anyway, what happens is that because our government is operated behind money, I hope you know this now. I hope all you MAGA folks know that you can be yay spaghetti and you can have all the numbers you want, but when it comes down to it, money controls the government. And since at that time, you know, the Rockefellers and the J.P. Morgans and the Carnegies had all the money, they convinced the government to pass the Federal Reserve Charter, in which these entities, these private entities, are the ones distributing the money. And for you all that don't know, the Federal Reserve is not government. It's a charter. It's a subcontracted type basis. And the Federal Reserve, we don't know who really owns it, but, come on, I just told you who the fuck, is behind it. They're the ones that have been in control of our financial system since 1913, okay? Now you've got a whole new group of people that have emerged through technology. And I'm talking about the Elon Musks, the fucking Peter Thiels, who have produced software, essentially, or have produced, like, products that don't require massive amount of investment, yet it yields massive amounts of profit. And you see, they have now been able to corner, in my opinion. I mean, you just take a look at what's going on here in America. You take a look at how much debt is going up. You take a look at how little, I should say, savings, personal income savings is. You take a look at all the layoffs. I mean, they're the ones, and that's why they were all around Trump in the inauguration. They're the ones now that have most of the control of the money. They're the ones with the control of the money, and what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to overtake the old world, the Federal Reserve System. They're trying to overtake the old robber barons and trying to go and establish their order. And that's what's happening right here, right now. And you see, that's what makes this so very, very terrifying for everybody economically, because I'm witnessing what's happening. I mean, people are literally giving Trump billions in this Trump coin. They're selling it off, and they're consolidating all this money. I mean, he's created himself a fucking massive wealth. I mean, take a look. I mean, he's a billionaire. Oh, wrong one. My bad. He's a billionaire. All right, newest crypto billionaire. Can you believe that? Newest crypto billionaire. You know that Trump coin is worth $58 billion on paper. I mean, he's a billionaire out of nothing. He didn't create anything. He didn't build a building. He didn't create a product. This is a consolidation of fiat under the ignorance and the mindless consumption and the lack of respect for money and the lack of respect for investment by the American people. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. All right, so yeah, I'm a little concerned about what the hell Trump has done here when it comes to creating this Trump coin, because aside from all that, all right, amassing a bunch of United States dollars out of producing absolutely nothing, he now has an avenue, all right, that has no oversight, in which people can funnel money to Trump via Trump coin. All right, there is no oversight over Trump coin, so a government, could give a mass payment to Trump via Trump coin, no oversight whatsoever. All right? I mean, this is another component I think everybody should be concerned about. Everybody. And hold on, Devious Dave said they found bugs on Mars. Okay, great. Maybe they'll tell us something. I don't know where Raid came from or whatever. Anyway, look, that concludes my synopsis about the cryptocurrency rug pull. I mean, if you guys are okay with that, I mean, good, I guess. I mean, that's where we're all. I guess that's what we are. I mean, we're just such a demoralized piece of shit that we're just giving somebody money that produces absolutely nothing. I guess so. I mean, I knew we were stupid, but I didn't realize we were that stupid, man. But anyway, look, let me continue going here, all right? Once again, I'd like for everybody to bookmark ghost.report, all right? All you got to do is type in your browser, ghost.report. And like I said, starting yesterday and continuing every day from now on, I'm going to be aggregating news links from all over the place, giving everybody some kind of an insight or a news base in which it'll give you the heads up on what's going on in not only this country, but the world itself. But, let's talk about some of these articles that I posted on January 20th here. And let's talk about the Biden family. Did you see what Biden did 15 minutes before his term ended? He fucking preemptively he pardoned his whole family. He pardoned his whole goddamn family. His brothers, all the people that are in his family. I mean, why the hell did he do that if he didn't do anything wrong? So once again, validating what everybody has said about Biden. Give me a fucking break. And trolling the interwebs, talk about the horse article. Well, I will when we get to totally useless news, all right? But anyway, I mean, this is just, once again, underscoring what people have always said about the Biden family. But then again, you take a look at what Trump's doing. It's almost as if Trump is like, hey, look, if Biden got away with it, if the Clintons got away with it, I'm going to get away with it. So instead of him draining the swamp, it looks like he has become the scum in the swamp. And aside from Biden pardoning his whole family, he also pardoned Fauci, General Milley, and of course the January 6th panel that investigated Trump. So a lot of preemptive pardons, which I'm not too sure if this is actually going to hold very well. I mean, it may be able to prevent a federal prosecution of Fauci, Milley, or January 6th panel, but I mean, they can get them at the state level. They could get them at the municipal level, just like they got Trump at those levels. So, I mean, they can pardon them all they want to. I mean, I believe that Trump is going to burden a lot of these folks that have been pardoned with litigation just so that it torts them into the poorhouse, really. So, once again, I mean, I know that Biden is trying to cover these people's asses, but I still think they can be prosecuted at the state and local level. This is just a federal immunity of whatever the hell he's pardoned them for. You know what I mean? And hold on, five-finger prostate punch. The movie Idiocracy will come to pass. Maybe it's time for America to fall. I hope not, dude, but it don't look good, I'll tell you that. Devious Dave, by the way, this proves Trump could have easily pardoned the January 6 people. Biden had more balls than Trump. Well, we're going to talk about that here in a minute, all right? But Biden, in his last minutes as president, pardoned a bunch of people. I just wanted to go over that just in case anybody isn't really aware of that. And by the way, was anybody really kind of concerned about like this dress that Melania was sporting at the inauguration? I mean, it looked like she was like dressed for a funeral or something. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, put the PC shot on it. What the hell was this deal? Was this symbolic? I mean, I do know that Melania likes to express herself in her attire, but I don't get. I mean, she looked horrible. I'm sorry, she looked horrible. I don't know. It looked like she was dressed for a funeral. Look at this. I mean, this bitch looks like the lead singer to the Eurythmics or some shit. Look at this. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in 7 seas. I'm not joking. Anyway, look, I didn't want to cover that too much. I just think that, hey, your husband is, getting, once again, re-inaugurated to be the president. I mean, you don't want to dress up like, you just lost your fucking dog or some shit. I mean, good God. I don't know what kind of a statement that was supposed to send, but, it is what it is, all right? Anyway, look, let's take a look at some of the photos from the inauguration. All right, now, very curiously, I want everybody to know that Donald Trump did not hold his hand over the Bible while taking this. You see this? You notice that, right? And then here you've got Melania looking like the old man from the Poltergeist movie, and she's holding, I guess, a couple of Bibles. I have no idea what that's about. All right, I have no idea what that's about, but I think people should be a little concerned, especially the evangelical crowd who voted in Trump for being a so-called evangelical conservative. I'm not joking around. I'm just saying. Anyway, let me take a couple of these buy me a coffees here. We got Peter Sutcliffe. I got hammered gooning sweater. What? Gooning sweater? Just give me the word, Ghost. All right, dude. Stop donating me sick, perverted crap like that, all right? And then we got Mad Thad, Suck It Trader, We've all been in here, D.C., partying our asses off all weekend. Yeah, I saw that, Mad Thad, that you're actually out there. You attended the rallies. You're out there in D.C. Yesterday was for everyone. They have to go through 2020 and all that heartbreak and setbacks. MAGA for life. I've met people from all over the country, and we all came together to celebrate this victory for us. Met a few Texans. Y'all are good people, except for you, though. Oh, great. Thanks a lot, man. That says a lot, all right? I'm glad that the MAGA fan base has embraced you. I mean, that says a lot. Anyway, once again, Trump doesn't have his hand over the Bible. Things that make you go, all right? And I guess this was supporters outside the, Trump building or some shit. I don't know. What is this? Outside Capital One Arena. My bad. Outside of Capital One Arena. And here's all the rafters, everything going up prior to the inauguration. Here's President-elect Trump shaking hands with Vice President J.D. Vance at St. John's Church ahead of the 60th presidential inauguration. Here's obviously cut out possibly some protesters. Oh, no, excuse me. This is actually pro-Trumpers. They're, I guess, simulating him dancing in this cardboard cutout. And then, of course, you've got people dressing up like they're, dressing up for Comic-Con, but, they're out there representing MAGA. All right, of course, everybody's got to fucking make a money. This is one huge grift for a lot of people. So you got the buttons, the hats, you got a bunch of street merchants out there. And Five Finger Prostate Punch said, Matt Thad should and hero. He's a sick degenerate. Yeah, well,
I'd buy that for $1.
Jacob, please don't use my real name on air, guy. Look, stop with the damn drama from the Ghost Show, all right? This is the True Capitalist Radio Show. Save the drama for Obama and your mama. Anyway, here's some Patriot, with a drummer boy, that sort of thing. Now, here's the actual inauguration that was moved indoors. They did claim it was because of weather. I don't think that's what it was because. You had a lot of powerful people here. This was the epicenter of power right here. You had the oligarchs of the Silicon Valley. You had all the, whoever was invited, the Congress folks. You had the Supreme Court. You had the generals. You had everybody was there. You even had some stars there. So it makes sense. You got to keep everybody safe. You got to keep everybody safe considering, the very temperamental environment that we're in politically. And here's Trump coming out the rotunda. Here's the help. Here's the help. Hold on just a second. We got a couple of people who donated here. We got the base department who said, no one cares about your Trump derangement syndrome Spurg session. All right. And the invitation is still up. Fight me at Twin Peaks at Northwest Loop 410. Dude, Northwest Loop 410 is poverty. All right. I can tell you live in an apartment complex and you're amongst the poors. All right. Give me a fucking break.
I'd buy that for
I wouldn't
$1.
take a crap over there on the Northwest side. You kidding me? Give me a damn break. Oh, meet me at Twin Peaks in the Northwest. Give me a break. I can tell you're an ethnic minority and you probably got some cousins named fucking Paco and Tinto and Cheeto. Anyway, we got Alexander Krotz. Ghost, are you not going to talk about how Trump talked about his wife's feet for 30 seconds? Maybe Trump is like us. Are you fucking kidding? I mean, do you understand? This is somebody who just donated on buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics. And because Trump talked about his wife's feet, you got these foot fetish sickos that are like, gooble, gobble, one of us. And then this Jacob Kenny, serious guys, it's okay. It's not okay to use. Don't use any real names, please, all right? Don't use any real names, please. I don't want to. I'm just going to ignore those. Anyway, feminist socialists, what do you think about all that rare snow in the Gulf of America this morning? Well, very unprecedented. It's the first time it's ever happened. But, yeah, we had some snow out here where I'm at, which I'm like, snow? Really? And there's Belligerent Brian saying, did somebody say feet? Because he's a foot fetish sicko. Anyway, here are all the former presidents that attended. There's, hey, how you doing? I'm Bill Clinton. I'm just going to pull out my wiener. Just suck it. You got that guy. You got George W. Bush over here. Fool me once. Shame on me. Fool me twice. You never get fooled again. And then there's this long-legged Mac Daddy, Barack Obama over here, which I think is a piece of trash, all right? I think he's a piece of trash. I would never shake this man's hand. He destroyed America. Anyway, here's some pictures of, I guess, people taking pictures of the troops, which I think is not bad. And here's all these, I don't know, I think these are the most overrated fucking politicians. I'm talking these two. Well, Miley at least had the balls to, like, cut, all kinds of socialist crap in Argentina, but he's a fucking weirdo and he's a weeb. And I don't know. And then this bitch, why does the right put this Giorgia Meloni on a pedestal? This resting bitch-faced broad has done absolutely nothing for Italy. All she does is give a bunch of anti-immigrant rhetoric. Meanwhile, Italy is a shitbag. All right? It's a shitbag. I mean, what the fuck? Is it because you people are all simps? And because she's like, oh, she's kind of attractive, and God, man, you guys are fucking, you make me sick. You know that? You simps make me sick. And by the way, this is the vice president of China, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, that happened to attend the Trump inauguration. And of course, everybody with their Trump regalia, their Trump purses. I don't know, they're representing, look at that, they're representing Sweet Home Alabama, baby. What the hell is that? We got Confederacy hats out there. And here's Capital One Arena, where everybody's looking at the swearing in. You've got, I don't know, some asshole looking like, somebody from the 30s. Then you got the, look at that. Look at it. It's J.D. Vance with his sons Vivek and, the other Indian kid. And I don't know if this guy was really Elon Musk or Elon Musk's clone, because he was acting very bizarre at the inauguration, if you want my opinion. But hey, I'll just assume it's him. It could be his robot. Who knows? And
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, dude. Listen, I'm not acknowledging that crap. Enough of that. Don't donate if you're going to be donating shit like that. And Five Finger Prostate Punch. Can we see her feet to see how her politics are? All right. Anyway, skip my buy me a coffee. No, I didn't. I think I just read it. Didn't I just read it? No, hold on. Kitsch does a flip. Oh, yeah, just in. Keir Starmer of England wants to declare war on incels. Wow, are you serious? Well, good luck with that one. And you left me a post. I'll look at it in a minute. Kitsch does a flip. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip you, and thank you for reminding me. Cheers to you. And trolling the interwebs, Obama looking like AIDSy. Yeah, he looks... Yeah. I was always speculated about Obama prior to him becoming president in 2008. There was a speculation that he may have been HIV positive, and he didn't give us a blood test, so... But hey, that's all history. Hey, President Jay with a Rumble Rant, did you hear the rumor?
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, dude. All right, take that off. All right, Jesus Christ. All right, give me a break. All right, cut the crap. Everybody just cut the crap already. Jesus Christ.
I'd buy that for $1.
And JSEP, dude, all right, listen. If you're going to donate, man, don't donate stupid shit, please. All right? And JSEP...
I'd buy that for $1.
All right. Please stop. All right, everybody, please stop. JSEP, look, as someone who's goes to a lot of EDM shows and shit, Elon was obviously zonked out of his gourd on something, probably ketamine. Ghost is a psyop. Well, I joked around about that on Twitter. We don't know that per se, all right? We really don't know that. And we got Jag Deluxe Ray. Guys, to prevent drama on here on TCR, along with further escalation,
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, anyway, I'll do a negotiation to try to work things out. Also, Foxo.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, dude, just stop. All right, everybody just stop. Anyway, that name wasn't censored during your part of it. Censor that and I'll cancel the privacy complaint. All right, you hear that, Alfoxo? Blur out the name and it is what it is. And there's somebody, Jake Eat Shit. Just because I ran out of tasks as a dishwasher doesn't mean I don't have a job. Jag Deluxe. All right, that's enough, please. All right. And someone, not gonna lie, I want Mommy Melania's feet Oh,
I'd
God.
buy that for $1.
Are you fucking kidding? I want Mommy Melania's feet up my mouth and her stomping my face like, damn, son.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, dude, everybody just calm down here, please, all right? We got Vihan Mendy. Hello, this is your replacement. My computer is in Tesla.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, my computer is in Tesla, and I already have Yahoo News in bookmarks and ready to work. Very sorry about the layoff, Sar. Please keep Patel in the trailer as the new engineer, and I'll pay you your Super 8 for the night. Yeah, real funny. All right, go fuck off. All right, Vivon Mendehendi, or whatever your name is. And then we got Ghost's #1 fan. Hey, yay, Ghosty, I'm glad you came back. I stole my credit card from an old lady at River Center so I could donate this. Dude, don't even kid around about that, please. Anyway, whoever's in power, I hope the country will continue to have peace and prosperity in the future. Though I wouldn't mind a world war if it meant getting to serve by your side. Just imagine that. Us in the fields together, us in the trenches together, us in the showers together. One of us bleeds out each other's arms. It'll be beautiful. Anyways, have a good show. All right, I'm not reading the rest of that. All right, you're a sick fuck. All you people are sick pieces of trash. I'm trying to be serious here and take a look at what's going on here. And now I got Phil Harvey, who donated to buy me a coffee. He said, are you coming to the Klan meeting after the show, correct? All right, go fuck yourself. All right, and I got some buy me a coffees. President Jay, did you hear the rumor that Obama's getting divorced? He's probably had enough of Michael, He probably had enough of Michael, Devious Dave, did you see the mandate to require federal buildings to be classical architecture is actually a good order? Well, let's see it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Look, let me get to the show. All right, I want to discuss about all the executive orders that Trump has done, and none of them don't seem ridiculous to me. I don't know why everybody's all pissed off. Anyway, 5-finger prostate punch, Trump pulling out of the World Health Organization. I would have gotten all this, but unfortunately I'm dealing with tar drama on buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics donations, so, it is what it is. Belligerent Brian, Jag, DM me on Discord. Zed wants to mediate between you. And Roxass, all these donos are for radiography. No, they're not. All right, anyway, let's continue here, all right? Let's go ahead and continue. Like I said, these were some pictures. There's Joe Biden and Donald Trump, peaceful transition of power, more MAGA regalia, MAGA people, I guess, praying or something. I have no idea. There's the Trump crime family saying, hey, we pulled it off. We just unloaded $60 billion on that Trump coin, Dad, so don't worry, we're all good. All right? There's the oligarchs of power there. All right? And look, no offense, Jeff Bezos, I think that you're one of the greatest CEOs to ever live. But with the same breath, I have to say you're one of the biggest simps to ever live. How dare you disrespect the decorum? I mean, I get it, you're a billionaire, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but this broad that you have, okay, great. She's in shape. She's got some knockers. She looks like she's trying to make her face out to be the Joker, Jack Nicholson edition, okay? And from what I read, that this broad, Lauren Sanchez, superseded the decorum. You notice that there's no significant others, next to except for fucking dumbass Jeff Bezos. So I don't know, man. I don't know. If I was Jeff Bezos, if you're gonna simp for something,
I'd buy that
I don't know.
$1.
You could. Never mind. I'm not judging. Maybe she's a good chick. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I don't know.
I'd buy
Anyway,
that for $1.
We got Phil Rott, who hooked it up with a buy me a coffee and said, just finished Raft by Phil Rott, and now I have AIDS. The Raft by Phil Rott, now you got hate. What the hell does that mean? And we got Phil Harvey pretending to hate Trump is giving a leftist a very wicked boner, especially Jack. Look, that's enough, please, all right? Anyway, that's about enough of the pictures of the inauguration. All right, once again, Musk Nazi salute. Now, that looks a lot like a Sieg Heil to me, but because he's the richest man in the world and was able to, I don't know, he made a donation. I'm surprised that the Anti-Defamation League released some kind of a statement that, well, that wasn't exactly a hitless salute. That wasn't exactly a hitless salute. No, it was a lot different, okay? He was doing the Roman salute. He wasn't doing a Sieg Heil, which I can't believe, dude. I mean, you can't, I can't believe that. I can't believe that the ADL actually came out and validated what the fuck a lot. You know you're a rich prick when you can do shit like that. I'm just saying. Anyway, somebody just donated. Ghost went to a P. Diddy party. Said, hey, Ghost, I saw the inauguration with Elon Musk and NG. You look ugly and you made all the Mexican leave. It's your fault. Well, I didn't make the Mexicans leave. They were in my yard. They were doing my yard. I gotta go find other people to do my yard. Luckily, it's snowing and everything's dying and shit, but spring's coming up, and I got to get some people to do my goddamn lawn. But anyway, that was something of a point of emphasis when it comes to the post-inaugural address, all right? Now that the tech oligarchs are in power via Trump, they're buying all kinds of real estate. Take a look at this. Trump's oligarchy is moving to Washington and buying up prime-time real estate in Washington, D.C. Billionaires and multimillionaires are flocking to the city where power has been most important than money. And now both are deeply intertwined. So here we are. We're in a new age right now, man. I mean, tech gangsters? Look, put the PC shot on. Tech gangster bros? Welcome to the era of gangster tech regulation. Our tech overlords all have problems, and they want to buy the solutions. So this is why I'm saying, this is why all these guys were not necessarily friendly with each other. Remember? I remember Elon Musk tweeting at Mark Zuckerberg right after he released Threads and calling him a lizard boy and saying, hey, lizard boy, I paid $44 billion for Twitter, and I'm going to see you in court. And now these guys are all buddy-buddy. All right, now they're all buddy-buddy. So, these guys are huge. You have to understand, aside from the money, the high-level security contracts that they have with the government is what makes them even more powerful than their money themselves. So we're headed into a whole new era, and I don't know if y'all saw the post-presidential address by Biden, but he warned about this, and I think this is a valid warning. This is a massive amount of not only money, but power centralized in a handful of people. And now it's not just anything like a product or a service. We're the product. We're the service. When you buy a Tesla car, you don't own that car. All right? You're leasing that car software and hardware. That's what you're doing. And at any moment, the Tesla or fucking Elon Musk can render your car useless and turn it off, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now you got Elon Musk wanting to, go into your brain with Neuralink and shit. This is where we're headed. This is where we're headed. And I think that this is gangster tech. That's a fair assessment if you want my personal view. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the executive orders that have now been put forth by Trump here. Put the PC shot on, tracking Trump's executive orders and what he signed, all right? So here's the list thus far, okay? First thing, he did do executive orders on immigration. Now, he promises mass deportation, but hasn't detailed how he's going to implement it. I don't think he's going to do mass deportation. I think, much like I said prior to him being elected, that if he does get elected, he's just going to kick out the folks that are documented, the undocumented that are documented being criminals. The folks that are part of MS-13, that new fucking Venezuelan gang, and all that other shit. I sincerely do not believe that Trump is going to round up people that are undocumented, that are a part.
I'd buy that for $1.
That are a part of the agriculture and livestock markets, in my opinion. I think that he would be shooting himself in the foot because right now food are still pretty high. I mean, eggs are at an all-time high. I know that beef is coming down, but it's still pricey. I mean, food is expensive. And if you're going to take away a good portion of the workforce that, kind of harvest these yields, I mean, that's going to be relayed to the consumer. But I think he is going to massively eject these losers that need to be ejected anyway. These people that are criminals, these people that are a part of these street gangs. Get him out of here. I have no problem with that, but I doubt that he's going to go after the field workers in the agriculture and livestock. But then again, I could be wrong. Who knows? Trump declares national emergency at Mexico border, which I agree. It's one thing to secure the border by, moving in and using the National Guard, using troops. But what we really need is an immigration policy. And this is something that I hope Trump takes up. I hope Trump actually brings back the bill that was initiated last May by the Democrats that was written by a Republican that addresses all the issues of the immigration system that we have. It's a flawed immigration system. I've talked about it for years. The chain migration, all right, that means if you are a citizen, you can actually file under something called chain migration, where you can bring in people of your family, your spouse, your mom, your dad. There's an immigration lottery system where you can just throw your name and you can just get your name randomly picked to become a citizen. To claim asylum in America is very lenient as well. So this is something that, Trump, I hope, at least the Republicans, I hope, take notice of and do something about. Now, with that being said, Trump has designated the certain international cartels and organizations such as Tren de Agua or whatever, and MS-13 as foreign terrorist organizations, and announced plans to invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to target them. Now, this is where I was saying that this is who he's going to eject from the country. Now, whether or not he's actually going to hit these people in their homelands, that's a whole other story. But I do think that this lays the groundwork of just kicking these folks out as opposed to undocumented folks that are keeping, groceries in the grocery store. Anyway, Trump suspends the U.S. refugee admissions program resettlements until such time as the further entry into the United States of refugee aligns with the interest of the Americans of the United States. Homeland Security will report back within 90 days whether resuming refugee entries would be in the interests of America. I think that's very rational. I have nothing against that. I agree with that. I mean, we want to get people in here that are not only going to work, but that are actually going to provide taxes and economy for this country. Nearly 1,660 Afghans cleared by the United States to resettle in the country, including family of active duty U.S. personnel, had their flights canceled following Trump's orders, Reuters reports. Trump also has ordered Homeland Security to terminate all categorical parole programs that are contrary to the policies of the United States established in, quote, my executive orders, including those refugees fleeing Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. So specifically targeting some of these immigrants that are heavily coming into the country from these countries. Remain in Mexico policy. Trump to reinstate Remain in Mexico policy, ending a program that releases asylum seekers into the U.S. while their cases are being considered. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection website on Monday said that appointments made through the CBPO-1 app at certain border crossings have been canceled. Trump empowers officials to repeal, reparate, or remove any alien engaged in an invasion at the southern border. So, I mean, he is trying to, pay a little bit homage to those that voted him in because of the immigration issue. Now, one of his boldest moves is eliminating the birthright citizenship. All right? Birthright citizenship is protected by the U.S. Constitution, and the order already faces big challenges, meaning that if you were an illegal immigrant in this country and you had a child while in this country, it used to mean that that person was a citizen. Under the executive order that Trump just signed, all right, those people aren't citizens, at least under his executive order. All right, if your mother was an immigrant and you were born here, under this executive order, you're an immigrant too. Now, this is going to face very, very litigious opposition. You know, there's going to be a lot of challenges. There's already a challenge by 18 states, challenging the constitutionality of this. So we'll see if this actually goes through. Anyway, Trump ordered agencies starting 30 days after the order not to recognize babies as citizens if their mothers were unlawfully present at the time of the birth and their father was not a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. So, for you guys, especially you incels that want a mail-order bride, I mean, you can still bang a live one and have a baby, you know, and that be, as long as you're a citizen, all right? As long as you're a citizen. I mean, of course, I mean, Trump and his vice president are married to immigrants. I mean, give me a break, right? Anyway, that also applies to children born to mothers who were lawfully temporary residents and fathers who were not citizens or lawfully permanent residents. So there you go. I mean, that's probably the boldest of the executive orders. Anyway, let's continue. Energy and environment executive orders. Donald Trump declared a national emergency, ordering expedited, deregulated drilling, as he repeatedly vowed, drill, baby, drill. Well, that's probably why we saw 2.5% or a little over 2.5% down on the oil price. But the thing is that that's great. The problem is not us extracting the oil from the ground. The problem is refining it into gasoline. We don't have that many refineries. And because of the regulations that's entailed to build a refinery, it'll take you like 3 or 4 years just to get approved. So we need refineries is what we need. I mean, we can extract all the oil we want. We need to refine it into gas. And that's the problem, in my personal view. Anyway, in a separate memorandum, he paused offshore wind leasing for federal waters. So enough of this wind bullshit. Enough of this crap. All right, all you folks that are providing alternative energy sources, you've got to get a little bit more creative than wind and solar, all right? Those solar panels are now polluting landfills. They're even more toxic than trash when they're thrown away. You can't recycle solar panels. You can't recycle them. Anyway, the Paris Climate Treaty, he also signed a order withdrawing the United States from the Paris Climate Treaty, which I agree with. I think it's a bunch of trash. I don't disagree with it. I mean, it's one thing to hold countries accountable about CO2 emissions or whatever the fuck it is, greenhouse gases, and yet you give China open season because they're, quote, a third world developing nation. It's the most unfair agreement towards America. I was against it, and I was for Trump withdrawing from it in 16 and 17. I'm for it now. It's trash. Anyway, Trump also took aim at the Biden administration's federal procurement targets for clean power, electric vehicles, and other energy goals. Trump directed the energy secretary to restart application reviews for liquefied natural gas export projects, which were paused by the Biden administration over climate change concerns. Trump also revoked the 2021 Biden executive order that set a goal for 50% of U.S. vehicles to be electric by 2030. Well, thank God. You see, this is why I wanted to go over, some of the things that Trump is doing in his executive order. I'm not against this stuff. I mean, none of this stuff I'm against. I'm kind of against the Trump coin rug pull and how anyone can pay him through Trump coin, government, corporation, without any oversight, but all right, he's not bad. Not bad. All right, let's continue with his executive orders here. Executive order targeting DEI and transgendered Americans. And let me tell you, this is where I think people overwhelmingly came out for the Republican Party was because of this right here. And, it's the Democrats' fault. They went to the, with this way too long, way too much, and it's finally caught up to them. And by the way, the Democrats are doubling down on this identity politics bullshit. I mean, they made that transgendered congressperson, I guess is what you call them, a major senior House official. I mean, so they're doubling down. I think the Democrats are idiots for doubling down on this. But thank God Trump is kind of, putting the kibosh on this. Trump established Monday that it is the policy of the United States to recognize two sexes, male and female, on the official documents. I mean, I'm not against that at all either. All right, now, unfortunately, many of the transgenders and the non-binaries and the two-spirited and all these other groups of folks that fall outside the category of male and female, I read, are having a very hard time dealing with this, and that we're going to start seeing potentially suicides of individuals because of this executive order. I'm not kidding around, so be expecting that, all right? And let's see what the blowback is from that, no pun intended. Anyway, transgendered Americans were the central target of Trump's often hyperbolic and outright false campaign. Well, that's neither here nor there, Axios. Anyway, zoom out. He also rescinded a Biden administration provision that allowed transgendered people to serve in the military. Trump did not immediately ban trans military personnel from serving, as he did under his first administration, but he paved the path to revive the ban. I'm not too sure if I agree with this one, because anybody who serves the military, I don't care, if they're gay or trans or, black, white, Indian. I mean, anybody who serves in the military, I mean, they deserve our respect, in my personal opinion. So, anyway, let's continue. We've got Trump, as a part of his crusade against what the GOP decries as woke culture. He ordered the dismantling of the government diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives within the next 60 days, which I think is a great deal because I think we can all agree that DEI has lowered standards across the board when it comes to not only personnel within the bureaucratic system of governments at federal, state, and local levels, but also at the corporate level as well. And it's good to see that most of corporate America is falling in line with this shit as well. I mean, thank God. I mean, so it's, it's some light at this end of this tunnel here. Other executive orders affecting federal workers. Trump signed several other provisions that will impact government workers. He'll require a full-time return to in-office work for federal employees and ordered a hiring freeze on government positions. Now, that one right there, I'm telling you, every government bureaucrat and their brother is pissing. They're scared shitless. Okay, because aside from no new hiring, their jobs may be on the line. And look, I have never been against cutting federals, especially bureaucrats. I have never been against that. I have been highly consistent, going back to my 2008 True Conservative radio days, that we need to cut the fat off this government. And I can't believe, people are still not going to work. I can't believe that people are still not going to work. Are we still playing that charade? And no offense, it's mostly women that don't want to go back to work. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, let me get to these buy me a coffees that El Foxo hooked up. And El Foxo said, bro, you said in the past that you didn't care if people used your real name on the show after you filed those DMCA requests with your real name. This was a long-ass time ago, and your name has been used a bunch of the times on the show since then. Your name is public at this point. You can't argue that your privacy is at risk because you already said that you don't care, and the only reason it's public is because you're an idiot who didn't understand that DMCA requests were legal documents where the other party can see all submitted details. What did you think would happen if you filed one against a troll? I didn't forget to censor it, okay? I made a conscious decision not to take the 4 to 8 seconds required to bleep it out, and I've gotten more than enough evidence to dispute your privacy complaints. I'm typing this while taking a crap. Thank you, all right? And here's another one by El Foxo Loco, and said, remember your catchphrase, Jag? You strike me, I'll strike back. Well, mine is, you strike me, I'll buy a few thousand stickers of your OC with a Queen of Spades tattoo and then freely distribute them amongst the community. All right, that's enough of this. All right, this is getting out of hand. I literally have a war going on my buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics donations here. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm sorry, folks. Can we get back to what Trump did as an executive order here? All right, I'm sorry, all right? Anyway, the hiring freeze does not apply to the military or immigration enforcement, national security, or public safety. So there you go. That thank God. All right, hiring freeze everywhere else. Military enforcement, immigration enforcement, national security, public safety. I mean, this is not bad. I have nothing bad to say about this shit. All right? He also reinstated the first-term Schedule F executive order, which could make it easier to fire civil servants deemed disloyal. Now, this I don't really like, okay? This is what I don't like, and this is why I was so apprehensive about wanting Trump to be the nominee for the GOP in 2024. Because how the GOP has always operated, it wasn't about being loyal to a personality. It wasn't about being loyal to a person because they have power. I mean, how the GOP operated was everyone was loyal to one another based upon the ideas that were being promoted by the individual or the individuals within the party. And that's what kept the glue together. And you see, when you're trying to demand loyalty, I mean, what the hell does that mean? What the hell does that mean? I mean, this is a government made for the people and by the people. And we have the right to disagree with anything. We have the right to talk or speak against anything. So this is something that I completely disagree with because our country is a free country and we have the right to disagree with somebody whether they like it or not. All right? I don't give a shit. It's a president or whoever the hell it is. I mean, that's what makes America separate from every other country in this world, is that we can criticize our leaders, we can make fun of our leaders, and we're not going to get, vanned and taken away and never be heard from again. So this is one I completely disagree with. The order could strip employment protections from thousands of federal employees. Employees are not required to personally or politically support the current president, but they must faithfully implement the administration's policy to the best of their ability. So there's the legal right there. I mean, as a matter of fact, I read somewhere that the union of federal employees has already taken the Trump administration to court for not only this, but also, I don't know if y'all read, the Doge. All right, Doge. And it's on my later edition of Ghost Report Daily here. And once again, I'd like everybody to recognize I am going to be on Ghost Report. That's all you got to do is type in your browser. I will be releasing these Ghost Report dailies every day, and it's basically an aggregation of a bunch of news links that'll keep you abreast of what's going on in the world. But the reason I went to this next one here, the one today, is because there's some things I want to discuss here. Now, Trump scraps outsider Doge task force is the one I want to talk about here. Now, Trump installs Doge within the White House, scrapping a plan for an outsider task force. Now, this right here is not what he promised. Okay? He promised that he was going to actually create a bureaucratic system. He was going to create a bureaucratic system to oversee the government bureaucracy. Now, he's going to install this within the White House, which supersedes the oversight and the authority of Congress, which is going to be taken to court. And as I stated, they're probably going to be taken to court by the Union of the Federal Workers and probably other entities as well. So what it seems like to me is a lot of these executive orders that Trump is trying to kind of push through, I think that it's kind of a hodgepodge of executive orders, and he's just kind of seeing what he can push through, given a hope of lack of bureaucratic resistance. So once again, this is what's going to happen, all right? So let's take a couple more of his executive orders, and then we're going to move on here. January 6 pardons. He pardoned about 1,500 of the January 6 defendants. And this is something that I approve of because I'll be honest with you, I do not believe that the insurrection was an insurrection. Now, do I believe it was like the equivalent of what the George Floyd rioters did? I mean, maybe at a less violent scale? Yes. I mean, all it was a civil disobedience, and it was kind of obnoxious, to be honest with you. I mean, it was a bunch of LARPers that were dressed up as shamans, and it was a bunch of cosplayers and all this other shit that went in there, and once they were in there, and they were just, hey, look, I got Nancy Pelosi's podium, and hey, I mean, it was just fucking, it was trolley crap is really what it was. It was a bunch of trolls that went in there, and then once somebody started shooting, and they shot Ashley Babbitt, which there should be something commemorating that woman. Once they shot Ashley Babbitt, they started scattering like rodents. And if anybody had the bad end of anything, it was Ashley Babbitt. So I think that most of the guys that were part of January 6th were just a bunch of, I hate to use the term of this fucking Tim Walz, but a bunch of knuckleheads that, just got in over their head. All the energy of the people, mob rule comes into play. That's why I don't like being around a bunch of fucking people. Mob rule is a very real thing. The mob can literally become a monster and have a life of its own. I mean, take a look at the Rodney King riots. You take a look at the George Floyd riots. I mean, mobs are not good. I mean, you know what I mean? So I'm okay with the January 6th pardon. All right? And that includes, like, the heads of the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers. So I have no problem with this. I think that there was no real harm, in my personal opinion, all right? There was no real harm, in my view. And hold on, we got a donation from somebody claiming to be Elon Musk here. And I'm sending out a Tesla Cybertruck I'm not going to say that, all right? I'm not saying that crap. Anyway, more on the executive orders here, because he signed a lot of them. Trump signed a lot of them. I know that I'm spending a lot of time on this, but he signed a lot of them. Health executive orders, okay? WHO, COVID, and drug costs. Trump signed an order pulling the United States from the World Health Organization, a process he started in his first term. And Monday, he also said that the U.S. will withdraw due to the organization's mishandling of the COVID pandemic and other global crises, its future to adopt urgently needed reforms, and its inability to demonstrate independence from the inappropriate political influence of the WHO member states. And TikTok extension, Doge, and more, all right? Now, ensuring government agencies do not unconstitutionally abridge the free speech of any American citizen, highlighting what Trump and his allies considered censorship under Biden, and order a review of trade practices and agreements, revoking security clearances for Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton. Yeah, by the way, John Bolton, if I were him, I'd be shitting my pants right now, because John Bolton, he gives a lot of very abrasive opinions about foreign policy and about other countries. And little did I know that John Bolton, the reason that he was always such a brash, cocky son of a bitch, he had Secret Service detail. He had Secret Service detail, for Christ's sake. Take a look at this shit. John Bolton disappointed after Trump removes a Secret Service detail. Are you kidding me? Man, John Bolton, you better figure it out, man, because you and the policies, because lest we forget that this guy's a foreign policy maker, and he's a aggressive foreign policy maker, and, without his Secret Service detail, it makes him an attractive target towards folks that he was talking against. So this was definitely vindictive by Trump. Put the PC shot on. Formally establishing the Government of Efficiency, or Department of Government of Efficiency. Once again, this establishing of the Department of Government Efficiency is not something that's going to have the approval of Congress. It's being done internal, which I'm not too sure if that's going to hold up, but we shall see. Anyway, suspending the TikTok ban for 75 days. Now, this is very interesting here, because it was Trump and the Republicans that initiated this whole ban on TikTok. And look, I mean, I'm not just saying this. I mean, these are facts. These are absolute facts that, I mean, the Republicans were the ones that passed legislation in order for TikTok to be banned for national security reasons. So now that you've got Trump saying, hey, look, I'm giving it a reprieve. It's an executive order. That's very interesting. Very interesting. I just want to point that out. So all of you people that are heel kicking because of TikTok, I think you need to, understand why it was banned. All right, that's all I'm saying. But with that being said, did y'all hear about this? China could potentially allow TikTok to be sold because that's one of the extensions or the reason behind the executive order of extending TikTok's approval for American consumption. And China is signaling a willingness to allow TikTok to be sold. Because the reason why TikTok is being sold is because, look, let's be honest, all right? TikTok is a mechanism of propaganda by the Chinese, and they're utilizing it to purposely demoralize the country of America, utilizing the pop culture that is fostered through this wide audience it created and curated via TikTok. And their algorithm purposely emphasizes the most degenerate, the most vile, the most brain rot type of crap. And because China owns this shit, it's Chinese money. I mean, they don't give a shit if they profit from it or not, because as long as they, and I'm talking to the content creators of TikTok, continue to produce this brain rot shit, they're actually accomplishing their agenda by demoralizing the country. So look, I'm telling all you TikTokers right now, okay? What you know of as TikTok is no more. Once China no longer owns TikTok, it's going to take away its algorithm. It's going to take away the money that it was paying these degenerate losers and these morons and these brain rot content creators. It's going to completely eliminate that. And the money that you folks were used to getting being degenerates on TikTok is no longer going to be there. No longer going to be there because China purposely created this fucking brain rot culture of America, and it became a threat to America's national security. That's why the GOP passed legislation in Congress so that this could no longer be broadcasted, or at least be accessible by American people in this country. So that's why you folks, just because Donald Trump signed an executive order extending TikTok for 75 days, if it sells, because it looks like it's going to have to sell, it takes the algorithm, which, cultivates this brain rot culture.
I'd buy that
and
for $1.
it takes the money that was unlimited for you brain rot content creators. And guess what? Cheers to Duke Orville, man. How you doing? Happy Taco Tuesday to Duke Orville. Hooking it up with 10 beers. He said, happy Taco Tuesday, Ghost. Got the flu, but that's cool because I get to take NyQuil. That's right. Everybody's getting sick, man. Everybody's getting sick, and that's horrible, man. But, hey, get better soon. Cheers to you there, Duke Orville, and good to see you, man. All right, happy Taco Tuesday. All right, get something spicy. Get all that crap out of there. Get the extra spicy stuff there, Duke Orville. Anyway, once again, China showing its willingness that it may be willing to let go of TikTok. Now, going on TikTok, and this is on the January 20th edition of the Ghost Report Daily, did you see this right here? TikToker sets fire to congressman's office for TikTok ban. Take a look at this shit. I mean, this is how insane China has gotten the people of TikTok. This is why the Republicans passed legislation in order for the Chinese-owned TikTok to no longer be accessible to the United States. Look at this crap. TikToker lover sparks blaze at congressman's office in response to ban. So there you go. I mean, this is what China was cultivating. So all you TikTokers out there, it's never going to be the same again, because there's not going to be a company that's going to pay you exuberant amounts of money for being a complete degenerate loser. All right? It's over. It's over for you TikTokers out there. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just the way it is. All right? Anyway, let's go ahead, continue. Let's see what else we have on the latest version of the Ghost Report Daily here. Let's go ahead, I guess, and talk a little bit about the confirmations and that sort of thing. Did you see that Marco Rubio, which I had no problem with Marco Rubio becoming the Secretary of State, overwhelmingly voted to be the Secretary of State? I think it was 99-0. All right? So right off the bat, I knew that Marco Rubio, he is more than qualified to be the Secretary of State. He's an articulate guy. He knows about foreign policy. And I keep my eye on little Marco for a potential presidential seat in the future, if you want my opinion. But little Marco approved. All right, now comes the Secretary of Defense, right? Well, not looking good for old Pete Hegseth. Did you hear about this? I mean, take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Senators receive affidavit containing new allegations against Pete Hegseth, who denies the claims. The former sister-in-law of Trump's defense secretary pick said that Hegseth made his second wife fear for her safety. But then Hegseth's second wife said there was no physical abuse in my marriage. Now, look, all right, I'll be honest with you. I don't really care about, like, him getting drunk and, you know, those allegations. I mean, he was in combat, you know, there's a lot of things going on in somebody's life when they transition from military combat to civilian population. But at the same time, I think that his womanizing, you know, is really what is concerning me, because he's been married 3 times. And each time he's been divorced because he womanizes. He chases tail. All right? And that puts him, in my opinion, a very easy target to be blackmailed or compromised. I mean, that's how James O'Keefe and those Project Veritas freaks, that's how they're able to get people to admit shit on camera, because they put some piece of ass in front of these people, and to impress this piece of ass, they'll say anything. And look, Hegseth, given his age, given his lack of experience, and moreover, I don't think that he passes himself, or at least carries himself, as somebody who's going to be the Secretary of Defense. All right, I mean, in my opinion, most Secretary of Defense, if you take a look at the long list of them, they're always very certain of themselves. You know, they talk with confidence because, you know, they have typically experience and that sort of thing. So if you don't have the experience, you have to have some kind of character. And when you've got all these allegations coming out, it's not looking good for Hegseth. So this is going to be another test for Trump on whether or not he has true and total control of the GOP. It doesn't look good for Hegseth, in my opinion. So let's see what happens with Hegseth. I have nothing against Hegseth, but let me tell you, you're going to become the Secretary of Defense. You better,
I'd buy that.
you better, you know, have some goddamn sexual impulse control is all I'm asking, all right? I mean, is that so hard to ask from a damn Secretary of Defense? Anyway, Froppy just hooked it up with a buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics donation and said, how does it feel knowing that you have dangerous people listening to you right now? I mean, that's the story of my life, if you want my personal opinion. Huh? Anyway, put the PC shot back on. Once again, go to Ghost.Report. I'm going to be producing Ghost Report dailies every day. Every day, all right? And hold on just a second. We got Mad Thad who hooked it up again. Let's see what Mad Thad has to say. And then I got to take some of these Rumble rants here. Mad Thad, I got on Grindr while I was down here. I was hoping that one of those trans congresswomen had a page on there. Hear me out. Totally would. Oh, jeez. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Mad Thad? Going on Grindr looking for a tranny. And friendly black homeless man with a stolen gun. Hello, sir. May I inquire on where I might be able to find a certain good convenience and or liquor shop within your local vicinity? Asking for a friend. Great. Thanks a lot. Anyway, five-finger prostate punch. Call suicide helpline up 338%. He's talking about the trans, because of the executive orders by Trump. Kitz does a flip. I hope Trump reinstates the transgender military ban. As your top trans viewer / fan, I'm dodging the draft. Not dying for Israel. Come on. And five-finger prostate punch. Hey, El Foxo, I'll chip in and get a few more stickers to had. I'll get better. Oh, all right, that's enough. All right, I don't want to contribute to that there. Five-finger prostate punch. And Devious Dave, this all started because Jag told us about how he got a lap dance on VR and how he fell in love with a VR stripper. I don't want to know about this crap. Devious Dave, he could have and should have pardoned them all once he left office like Biden did with Fauci. At least he did the right thing now. He's talking about pardon the January 6th defendants. Trump, that is. And five-finger prostate punch, can you stop rug pulling our Rumble rants, please? I got to him now! Jesus Christ. Sorry about that, folks. All right, let's talk a little bit about some international relations, all right? Now, remember Trump's promise that he was going to end the Ukraine-Russian war before he took office. Well, that has not come to pass.
I'd buy that
all
for
right?
$1.
That has not come to pass, and let me get to that in just a second. We got 15 and a half inches of pure imagination. Good to see you, man. I hope you've been doing well. But let me go ahead and read his donation before we get into anything else. The DOD candidate doesn't have confidence. How the fuck can someone that get that much tail without confidence? You're right. You're absolutely correct. And cheers to 15 and a half inches of pure imagination. I mean, he doesn't have confidence. I mean, if you saw his confirmation hearing, he didn't sound like somebody that is the head of the Defense Department material, if you want my opinion. But we shall see, okay? We shall see. But anyway.
I'd buy that for $1.
Friendly black homeless man with a stolen gun. Okay, I guess I'll shoot. No, we're not kidding around about that, dude. All right? Don't even kid around about that shit. Anyway, folks, my apologies here. All right, let's go ahead and talk once again. Trump insisted that he could end the war with Russia before his inauguration. That hasn't happened. So now Trump is starting to recognize that he's going to have a little bit of hostility with Russia. Now, let me go back to the January 20th edition. And Putin delivered a World War III message to Trump. All right? Putin's comments show a sharp change in the Kremlin's stance back in November when they refused to congratulate Trump on his victory, stating the U.S. is being unfriendly to Russia as the reason. Okay? So, and the reason that he's giving this ominous World War III message is because finally it's starting to look like the USSR, the Russia's about to collapse. And that was made valid by one of the generals that have sent out this message to the world. Take a look at this. Putin on the brink as Russian collapse happening right now amid fears of nuclear chaos. The collapse of Russia could lead to a nuclear chaos inside the country and a flood of refugees, all right? Russia is in the process of collapsing, and the world needs to prepare for potential nuclear chaos in the country. And the retired General Ben Hodges once served as a commander of the United States Army in Europe. He has been prolific commentator on Russian war with Ukraine, in which Vladimir Putin's forces have sustained catastrophic casualties during almost 3 years of fighting. According to Ukraine's military, over 800,000, almost 1 million Russians have died. And the reason is this is the reason why you're getting an aggressive stance from Vladimir Putin, because he's not in a very good position at this point in time to be able to be yielding any kind of power. All right? And with that being said, Donald Trump reacted accordingly. And if we go to the latest version of Ghost Report Daily, Trump says Putin is destroying Russia. A vast contrast from what he has said coming into this election about how we need to be friendly with Russia, how he's going to make the deal amongst deals. This is a completely different tone from Donald Trump. Putin is destroying Russia by not making a deal to end war, Trump says. And you see, Trump is not one to be made to look like a fool, especially on the world stage. So I wonder if this is now Trump doing a little bit of a 180 on the Ukraine theater of combat. All right, because, I mean, Trump at this point knows that it's Putin that refuses to end this war, and the reason he refuses to end it is because he's at a point of no return. We've talked about it many times on this broadcast that Putin is at a point where he has turned on the wartime economy, and because of all the long-term embargoes and sanctions, I mean, he can't afford to turn it off. Because if he turns off the war machine,
Buy that for $1.
if he turns off the war machine, he doesn't know what he's going to be able to do to bring back its ailing economy and its sinking ruble. So it's at a point where, you know, of no return. And cheers to Matt, who hooked it up with 3 beers, man. Cheers to Matt. As a matter of fact, Matt is a member of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. And we watched the game between Ohio State and Notre Dame last night in the chat room. And cheers to everybody out there. Cheers to Matt for hanging out with us in there too, man. So cheers, baby, cheers. All right. And happy Taco Tuesday to Matt as well. But once again, this may be a little bit of a tilting in foreign policy on Trump because he doesn't like how Putin is making him look like an idiot. All right, he doesn't like it. And also, did you hear about this? Russia warns Trump against snatching the Panama Canal. All right? So, right off the bat, this little hugging and kissing and friendly, you know, kissy kiss that he thought that he was going to have with Vladimir Putin is not coming to pass. All right? And it's because Putin is at the point of no return. Putin thinks that he deserves concessions. Putin thinks that he deserves something, even though he's the guy that invaded Ukraine. So I'll tell you right now, it may be Trump having to force himself.
Buy that for $1.
He's going to have to force himself to change paths on his destined foreign policy, you know, hugging and kissing with Putin. Very interesting situation going on here. And Froppy, thoughts on Pam Bondi wanting a government task force that aims to disarm any Americans who are LGBTQ? Sounds like you might be in danger, Ghost. I don't think that's exactly what she said, all right? But Pam Bondi does believe, and Trump also believes, that there should be some kind of gun regulation that keeps guns out of people that have mental health issues. And I think that that's in the process. I mean, if you heard the confirmation hearing of Pam Bondi, I mean, it seems as if that they're going to go that direction. So if you've taken any psychotropic drugs in your day, you're probably not necessarily going to be able to get a gun if the Trump administration actually pulls through with this particular policy. All right? Anyway, once again, Vladimir Putin warning Trump, you know, don't you dare take away the goddamn Panama Canal. And let's go ahead and talk about China. With that being said, Xi held calls with Putin. All right, a video call with Putin. So I wonder what they discussed. Because as I've always stated, between these two powers, this is purely symbolic. These people do not like each other. They're only showing a sign of unity on the world stage so that the populaces of the world are a little apprehensive for any kind of confrontation with either of these two entities. All right, but in actuality, they're both butting up against each other because they both have the same ambitions. All right, that's why Vladimir Putin went into Ukraine, because it had its own imperialistic ambitions. And China, the same thing. That's why it's courting all the bumfuckistan states that are around Russia, because they are also trying to expand their imperialist ambitions. And this is why this whole goddamn supposed allies of Russia and China is pure crap. But they allegedly held a video call. Who knows what they talked about, but it's probably nothing substantial at all. Now, with that being said, China now is throwing a little bit of an olive branch. Now, as I showed you when we were taking a look at some of the pictures of the inauguration, we had the vice premier of China attending Trump's inauguration. And while he was there, he said that China seeks more cooperation with the U.S., as Trump takes office. Now, this is something that we haven't seen China do, which is capitulate. I mean, this is a blatant capitulation. Even though it didn't come from Xi Jinping's mouth, this is definitely a capitulation, which, let's see if Donald Trump, who claims that he's the art of the deal master, if he can somehow have China renegotiate these fucking trade deals that have been the crux of our disdain when it comes to our relationship. Let's see if he can negotiate something in which we're not sending $700 or $800 billion in United States money in a trade deficit to China. That's why China is building up these ghost cities, which have nobody housing in them, by the way. But they got all these LED lights, and they fucking mesmerize the world whenever the pictures are shown out there to try to make people believe that the Chinese are living in some kind of a cyberpunk or some shit. But in actuality, that's our money that paid for that. That's our money. Us paying for this cheap Chinese crap. And it's the imbalanced trade deal. I mean, these fuckers are billionaires. The Chinese are billionaires, yet they don't want to buy our products. They don't want us in their market. So that's the crux of everything when it comes to China and our relations. And by the way, another olive branch, which is something the Chinese don't do often, the vice premier of China vows to import more goods after avoiding the early U.S. tariffs. All right? So isn't that, I mean, you're getting a lot of capitulation now. You're getting a lot of capitulation from China, which I think is a good sign. I think it's a good sign. And I'm a cunt. What happened? Did you get your chips double dipped again? Why are you actually doing a good show today? What are you talking about doing a good show? Listen. I am coinciding what I'm doing with what I just launched yesterday, Ghost Report Daily, all right, which is going to be a curation. I'm going to update every day. You see, there's a curation of links, so you people can follow along. Every time I do these shows, you people believe that every source that I produce is a bunch of crap. Well, they're all here, all right? They're all here. I'm going to update them daily, so make sure to add to your bookmarks and add to your favorites, Ghost.Report. Anyway, thank you. I'm glad you think it's a decent show.
That for $1.
I'm glad you think it's a decent show, for Christ's sake. And hold on, we got Tesla Cyberheart, who is also chilling with us in the True Capitals Radio chat room watching the college football national title game. Oh, my God, I'm cooming. Oh, my God, I'm cooming. All right, I don't know what the hell your problem is. I hope you're getting laid or something. I hope you're not just, waxing your carrot. But anyway, let's continue, folks. Okay, once again, Vice Premier of China vowing to import more United States goods after dodging Trump's tariffs. Very interesting. Let's continue with international news. Remember, we supposedly had a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine. What ceasefire? Take a look at this. 9 Palestinians killed as Israeli forces launch another major offensive in Jenin. All right, so what ceasefire? And that's another stain on the foreign policy of Donald Trump, because he was trying to take credit for this ceasefire that happened here, and it doesn't look like it's going to take hold. I mean, he even said that today, Donald Trump, when asked about the ceasefire in Israel. He says he's not confident that it's going to hold, and I don't think so either. I don't think so either. So, but then again, Israel is kind of doing our dirty work. All right, I mean, it's kind of doing our dirty work, old Israel. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. But another funny thing that happened in Israel, which was very interesting, the Israeli military chief of the IDF quit. All right, quit. Israel's military chief resigns. All right, after this first week of phased ceasefire with Hamas. So a lot of things going on in Israel. I think they're a little battle fatigued. Obviously, you got Netanyahu, who is still going through a trial for corruption. A lot of things going on in Israel that I think everybody needs to keep an eye on. All right, but offensive continues to go on when it comes to Israel against Palestine. What ceasefire? I have no idea. And with that being said, Iran and Israel have been warned by the Saudi Arabians not to go to war, and it should be avoided. And the reason is because they're trying to reestablish the region, considering that you've had the falling of a bunch of regimes in the Middle East. And the big players now are Saudi Arabia, UAE, Turkey, I believe. But Saudis believe that Iran-Israel war should be avoided at all cost. But I don't know if that's going to be a possibility. Remember, this administration has been very hawkish when it comes to Iran. So let's see if that actually is taken seriously. I don't think so.
I'd buy that for $1.
I don't think so, for Christ's sake. And on top of that, Iran signs a new, quote, strategic partnership with Russia. Once again, not showing that Iran wants to have any kind of friendly relations with the United States. And also, it needs all the help it can get because, as with Russia, Iran has a bunch of United States sanctions on them. And they've been blaming us for all the bad shit that's happened to them. I said it, I think, on a couple of shows ago. They're having rolling blackouts out there. I mean, they can't even keep their place electrified, for heaven's sake. And JSEV hooked it up with a Buy Me a Coffee and said, you should call it the PSYOP report or the Yahoo homepage. Fuck off, asshole. And Tesla Cyberheart with another Buy Me a Coffee. But for real, that game was amazing. My dad was rooting for Notre Dame from heaven, and I wasn't going to let him have another W. All right, thank you for watching the game with us, Ghost. Cheers. Hey, cheers to you there, Tesla Cyberheart. And by the way, you can join the True Capitalist Radio member chat room. All you got to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics and go to the area that says membership. And I'll be kicking it in there right after this broadcast, man. We had a great time last night. We're going to probably have a good time tonight, man. So cheers to all the folks that are in there. But once again, Russia and Iran signing a partnership. They're both under heavy sanctions. Both need all the help they can get. So there it is right there. All right, now, a couple other things I want to cover here before I get the hell out of here, because I've already been on here for about an hour and 46 minutes. I want to get to some of these other international news. World Economic Forum, all right, is meeting in Davos, Switzerland. This happens all the time around this time. All the folks that you saw in the inauguration are going to be here. And this is the elites of the elites gathering in their annual meeting, and they basically figure out what the hell they're going to do with the world in the next year. So this is it right here. If you don't know what this is, look up the World Economic Forum, all right? And we got 15 and a half inches of pure imagination here. Hold on just a second. 15 and a half inches said, the Jew-Arab-Muslim conflict has been going on for over 1,000 years. We should just wash our hands of the situation and let them fight to their heart's content, because we should as hell won't stop them. It's none of our business. We have more than enough to worry about over here. Getting involved in Middle Eastern politics is a bipartisan mistake that neither party should make, but do anyway. Well, it depends on how you look at it. It's a very complicated issue. The Middle Eastern politics is very complicated. If we don't intervene, I don't want to get into that debate. But well noted, 15 and a half inches of pure imagination. Well noted. But anyway, as I was stating, World Economic Forum, where all the elites get together from all over the world to figure out what they're going to do with us pawns on the grand chessboard. So once again, it's about that time of the year, isn't it? We're going to continue here. Did you hear that Slovakia, the Slovak president, has been accused by the opposition that they may exit the European Union? Now, for those that don't remember, this Slovak president, Fico, this guy was actually shot at with an assassination attempt, and he believes it's because he is in opposition and potentially wants to withdraw from the European Union. And I believe that's the case as well. And because he survived this assassination attempt, it looks like he's doubling down on not only his closeness with Russia, but also his disdain for the European Union. And it looks like we may have another nation state exit out of the European Union. So very interesting there as well. Did you hear about the 66 dead at a Turkish ski resort because of a fire? A lot of fires happening. Now it's 76, excuse me. 76 dead 51 injured at a fire at a ski resort. So, the only reason I wanted to bring this up is because, once again, especially after the LA wildfires, what the hell? What the hell's going on here? So that's why I put that on the Ghost Report Daily. Did you also hear that the UK is thinking about changing its terrorist laws after the Southport attacks? All right? And this is Starmer, of course. This is the liberal Starmer. Terrorism has changed as Britain faces a new dangerous threat from extreme violence, Sir Keir Starmer said in a statement on the Southport murders. Speaking on Downing Street after the government announced a public inquiry into the case, the Prime Minister said failings by the state leap off the page. All right, so now he's going to review their entire anti-terrorist system, and UK may be starting to recognize that they done goofed by not only just allowing all these wild Yehudis to come into their country, but allowing them to conduct themselves as if they're in their country of origin. And you see, that's what we need to do here in America. If we're going to bring in immigrants, we need to have a definition of what America is. We need to have a separation of church and state. If you're going to come into America, you're going to speak English. All right? America's first language should be English. Secondly, we shouldn't allow people to have these headdresses on or have them get down and face Mecca in the middle of a restaurant and pray. That shit, let's get out of here with that shit, all right? Let's get out of here with that crap. I mean, that's what Western civilization needs to define. They need to define what American is. And American speaks English. American separates church from state. We're not out here wearing headdresses and shit like that. We're not infringing upon anyone else's faith by utilizing symbols of faith. Anyway, sorry about that. Belligerent Brian, all right, great. I don't really give a shit, Belligerent Brian, all right? I don't give a fuck. Fuck you and the fucking Brit bongs out here that made this happen to your country, all right? And trolling the interwebs, if the UK is changing terrorism laws, it's to lessen the punishment, just like with treason laws. I don't know about that. They're in a different time now, all right? They're in a different time. Kids are being killed, and, you can't sugarcoat that. All right, you can't sugarcoat that. So we'll see what these Brit bongs do. And by the way, remember we had a coup attempt in South Korea. Well, Yoon, which is now the former vice president, has been arrested. And he actually defends his martial law decree. He actually defends this martial law. We're not having radio graffiti, dude, all right? This is not the show for radio fucking graffiti, all right? All right, you know what? I'm out of here. All right, never mind. Dude, I'm out here trying to produce a fucking serious show, and I've got these stupid fucking tards in here who want to, I want radio graffiti. Yeah. All right, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll go to Totally Useless News because this is right up the fucking alley of all these fucking morons who want radio graffiti on True Capitalist Radio. Go fuck yourself, all right? Here, this is fucking news for you tards. Totally Useless News, okay? All right? Man arrested for putting penis in horse nostril. All right? This falls right under your category right there. Look at this shit. And of course, it's in Florida, which is literally and geographically the colon of America. Arrested for sexual contact with an animal. All right? Allegedly tried to put penis in horse's nostril. All right? So this falls under the category of all these ridiculous, immature, autistic tards that are sitting there flapping their fat Cheeto-stained finger on the keyboard wanting piece of shit radio graffiti. All right? This is not the show for that shit. All right? You immature tards, fuck off. All right? Fuck off. All right? You don't like this show? Get the fuck out of here. Nobody's asking you to listen to this shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, once again, Totally Useless News. Man arrested for sexual contact with an animal, allegedly trying to put his penis in a horse nostril. So there you go, all right? And another one right for you people, all right? This is right under your category right here. Take a look at this. Surgeon and father of 3 performs vasectomy on himself as a gift for his wife. I am really brave. And not to mention, he streamed it as well. All right? So there you go. This is the kind of fucking shit we're doing. Fuck you, Froppy. I'm not doing radio fucking graffiti, you piece of shit. All right? You're a piece of shit. Give me a goddamn break. What are you talking about, five-finger prostate punch? There was no valid point that belligerent Brian was making. He's just some stupid Britbong that knows how to fucking kvetch about nothing. That's what Britbongs do. All right? They think because they have that stupid accent that they can just kvetch and we're supposed to just take them serious. Oh, you know, well, you talk like this, you know, you talk like that. Fuck you and fuck belligerent Brian. How do you like that shit? And fuck Roxas, too. That stupid fucking autist piece of shit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, once again, surgeon and father of three performs a vasectomy on himself as a gift for his wife. All right, so there you go. All right, right up your alley. All right, this is right up your fucking freak show alleys. That's what y'all like. Y'all like stupid shit like this. Here's some more totally useless shit, and you'll always be able to find it on the Ghost Report Daily at the bottom right corner here. 2 men found dead looking for Bigfoot. Here we go again. Look at this shit. Huh? Since y'all like Bigfoot stories so much, 2 men were found dead from exposure after looking for Sasquatch. All right? I can't believe that there are people this fucking retarded, that there are people this ignorant, that are going out there in the middle of a fucking snowstorm in the woods trying to look for a goddamn Sasquatch, for Christ's sake. I've told you time and time again, I have told you all. I have told you all that it's nothing but a bunch of fucking losers in ghillie suits that are hanging out in the woods just to keep the goddamn Bigfoot spirit alive for merchandising purposes. All right? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm sorry, man. All right? I'm sorry. I'm fucking sick of these fucking people half these fucking people that listen to me that are trolls are fucking useless waste of fucking piles of human protoplasm. And they would actually be doing the world a favor if they, unalive themselves in, like some kind of Canadian self-unalive machine, and we use their ashes to fertilize the crops or some shit. Jesus Christ. And look at belligerent Brian. I've tried to talk to you, you literal coward. Yeah, shut up, belligerent Brian. You're an idiot that posts feet pics at every post that I post on X. And all of a sudden you want to be all of a sudden you want to be an intellectual all of a sudden. Fucking idiot, all right? R.I.P. to those brave men. Fuck off. These fucking guys are idiots. What are you talking about? These guys that went out in the woods in the middle of a fucking snowstorm to find Sasquatch, all right, was fucking social Darwinism is what it was, all right? Give me a fucking break. And five-finger prostate punch, you're scared to pick up anyone. I pick you up all the time, drunk Aussie, all right? And what is this, excrement? You speak Yiddish far better than English. We appreciate the show, but you have to do rating. I didn't promise shit, all right? And if I did promise, guess what? Fuck you. How you like that shit? LB Capitalist, don't promise something you can't keep your word. Yeah. And Tesla Cyberheart, are you going to replace the chat with H-1B1 visa workers that suck up to you constantly? Well, I should replace you, all right, with all due respect. I mean, didn't fucking Tub Guy yank you out of the fucking closet because you were hanging at some... Never mind. Anyway, Marshall Bernsey, the ladies call me Sex Squatch. Yeah, they laugh at you is what they're doing. Right? They call it a laugh, They call, hey, can you show her? She doesn't believe that they make them that small. Trolling the interwebs, dying of exposure in 2025, America is the ultimate L. Yeah, no, well, they went out to go look for Sasquatch. Anyway, five-finger prostate punch, you spent an hour last show asking people to challenge you. What are you talking about last show? And feminist socialist, you're worse than an OnlyFans whore. Here's some money, whore. Fuck you. And Devious Dave, feet are sexy, I stand with Brian. Oh, of course you would. And belligerent Brian, yeah, I want to talk to you. Also, tell me to post. Listen, all you do is post feet pics. You're a sick fuck, all right? I don't know why you foot fetish people like that shit. It's a stinky, smelly, fucking athletic foot. Jesus fucking Christ, man. And five-finger prostate punch. Man up and accept the challenge or you're a bitch. You're a bitch, all right? You're a goddamn bitch. Anyway, that's my cue to get the hell out of here, all right? That's my cue to get the hell out of here. Now, I don't know when I'm going to do a ghost show, all right? I know that I owe somebody. Somebody hooked it up with a video, and I've got your video first, all right? Somebody donated a video, so you'll be the first video on the ghost show.
I'd buy
Jesus
that
Christ.
for $1.
Wait a minute. How do we know that Bigfoot didn't kill? What are you talking about? The two idiots that went out in the fucking woods? How do we know that Bigfoot didn't kill him? They died of fucking. I don't know why I try, dude. You know what I mean? I don't know fucking why I even try. I don't even know why I fucking try. Anyway, look. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get the hell out of here. All right. And I'm gonna go into the True Capitalist Radio chat room to hang out with the boys in there, all right? And if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you got to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics and go right here to this region and become a True Capitalist Radio member, and you'll be a part of the chat room. We had a blast last night watching the game. I streamed it. Great fucking game. And cheers to all the folks that were in there chilling with us, man, all right? Afterwards, we had a discussion about the executive orders, and we discussed things about the inauguration. We discussed a little bit of foreign policy. So it's fairly serious in there, all right? Fairly serious. So if you're a troll, then don't even bother. Don't even bother. Don't even bother, all right? Don't even bother. Anyway, I'm going to get the hell out of here, all right? I don't know when I'm going to do a ghost show. I may do one tomorrow, and if I don't do it, I guess I'll do it on Baller Friday or some shit.
That for $1.
I guess I'll do it on a Baller Friday. I don't know, man. You people don't deserve shit, if you want my opinion. And someone said, damn, a lot of talk about feet this episode. Like, man, I want feet in my face and my nard like, damn, daddy, please. I want it in my face and mouth now. Oh, Jesus Christ. You see why I want to get the hell out of here? Huh? Do you see why I want to get the fuck out of here, for Christ's sake? This is supposed to be a serious show. You understand that? And every time I attempt to have a fucking serious show, I'm bombarded with these fucking tards, and I'm tired of it, all right? I'm really tired of it. You tards, stay away from the True Capitalist Radio show, please, all right? Stay away! Anyway, once again, if you haven't done so, add to your bookmarks and add to your favorites my official website. All you got to do is type in your browser ghost.report. And as I stated, starting yesterday, I'm going to be producing Ghost Report Daily, giving everybody a curation of links, that will, get you abreast on what the hell is happening with the world today. All right? So once again, add to your bookmarks and add to your favorites ghost.report. All right? And take a look at the curation of links. I'm going to be hooking it up tomorrow as well. And Red Eyes Black Dragon, yeah, fuck off, all right? Anyway, I'm out of here, all right? I don't know when I'm going to do a show. If you want to know when I'm going to do a show, I would suggest people to follow me on X or Twitter or whatever the hell you want to call it. All right? Put the PC shot on. Here it is right here, The Ghost Report, all one word, no underscores. Follow me on X or Twitter, all right? It's my social media of choice, and you'll be the first one to find out when the hell I'm going to be doing these shows. And yes, we also stream on X or Twitter. We're multi-streaming. We got folks over there in D-Live. What's going on? We got the folks in Rumble. We got folks at Kick. We got folks at YouTube. So we're being broadcasted all over the place. So FYI, we're being broadcasted all over the world, baby. Tens of thousands of people are listening to this broadcast, all right? All right, why? Because it's True Capitalist Radio, baby. It's Ghost, the badass of business, the prognosticator of prognosticators, baby. And don't you ever forget it. All right, don't you all ever forget that shit. All right, anyway, I'm going to get the hell out of here, folks. Thank you guys for listening to the broadcast. Once again, follow me on X or Twitter, The Ghost Report, and add to your bookmarks and add to your favorites, Ghost.Report, baby. And until next time, I'm out of here!